This happened years ago, but some nights, when it gets too quiet, I still feel that old fear creep back. It was the summer after I graduated high school, and I was living with my parents in a small Northern California town. One night, it was incredibly hot, so I had my bedroom window open while packing for a camping trip. It was around 2 in the morning. I was folding a t-shirt when a hand reached in through my window. I screamed, and the hand vanished. For a second, I just stood there, trying to process what happened. I even thought it was my brother playing a prank. I forced myself to look outside, and in the shadows, a man was standing there just staring at me. I ran to my brother's room, but it wasn't him. We called the police, but they found nothing. We thought it was over. But it wasn't. 6 months later, I moved to the city with a friend. It wasn't the nicest apartment, but it was our first place, and we loved it. The only downside was street parking. A few weeks in, my car got broken into for the first time. Nothing was stolen, but there was a single rose lying on the back seat. I felt my stomach drop. I started parking near lights, close to entrances, anywhere that felt safer. But those spots weren't always available, and some nights I had no choice but to leave my car farther down darker streets. Then the break-ins became weekly. Sometimes it was another flower. Once, a pair of men's underwear. Another time, a bag of my favorite candy. That was the moment I realized. The person knew me. Suspicion seeped into everything. Everyone became a potential suspect. Our apartment building had a laundry room in the basement. One afternoon, I went down to collect my clothes from the dryer. As I started folding them, I noticed something. All of my underwear was gone. At that point, fear was a constant companion. A week later, a male friend visited. When he left, his tires had been slashed. Then I received a letter. A declaration of years of love, filled with details proving he had been watching me from close range. I immediately decided to move. I subleased the apartment to another friend, and relocated across the city to a building with security and a gated underground garage. For the first time in months, I felt safe. For a few peaceful months, everything was quiet. Then my roommate, Kate, got a boyfriend. His name was Mike, and they met on a social app. Kate was actually the one who initiated the conversation. We all found it odd. Mike was strikingly handsome, magazine cover handsome. And while Kate is a wonderful person, she's not the type of girl men like that usually pursue. But she was experiencing her first real romance and she was glowing. Still, something about Mike felt wrong. His smile looked glued on. This unsettling smirk that never reached his eyes. Conversations with him were bizarre. He often changed topics abruptly, as if he lived in a different reality. I created a burner account to look him up. He had no friends in real life. Just endless selfies. No verifiable information. We gently tried to warn Kate. Mike hadn't technically done anything bad, but he was so unnervingly strange. Kate got defensive, offended even, and shut down the conversation. Soon, Mike was at our apartment almost every day until he was practically living there. One afternoon, I came home from work and found Mike alone on my couch, drinking a beer. Kate had been called in for a shift and apparently told him to wait inside. I was furious. I grabbed some snacks and a drink and slammed my bedroom door. About 30 minutes later, he knocked. He asked if I wanted to watch TV with him, so we could get to know each other better. For Kate's sake, I reluctantly agreed. We watched a movie. I kept my eyes on the screen, avoiding conversation. At one point, I glanced his way. He was staring at me, smiling. "What are you doing?" I snapped. Still smiling, he said softly, "I just can't believe it." "Believe what?" He didn't answer. He just turned back to the movie, his smile frozen in place. A chill ran down my spine. I excused myself and locked my bedroom door. The police investigation revealed Mike wasn't employed where he claimed. Kate had never seen his home because it didn't exist. He lied about living with friends. He lied about saving money to travel. He had no family in the state. He had no verifiable friends or background. Mike might not even be his real name. He was an empty shell. A constructed identity. When we searched Kate's room, we found a sports duffel bag. Inside a hidden pocket were 10 photos of me. Long-distance shots. Pictures taken through windows. One of me asleep taken in my new apartment, judging by the sheets I'd bought after moving in. Several photos taken at my parents' home. There were also 2 pairs of my stolen underwear, a coffee cup lid with my lipstick on it, a necklace I hadn't even realized was missing, and several disgusting keepsakes. My blood ran cold. The police never caught him. I eventually moved overseas. The distance helped, but the trauma stayed. Kate and I drifted apart. Her first love turning out to be a deeply disturbed stranger was something she couldn't process. I still don't know what his endgame was. Would he have hurt me? Or was existing quietly in the edges of my life enough for him? Even now, I keep a low profile whenever I return to the States, because deep down I fear one thing. What if he comes back?